Hello and welcome to Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I'm Caitlin Rhiannon. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I'm going to be using tarot cards and oracle cards to get an idea of the energy for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020, and how we can best navigate throughout or within those energies. So I'm going to be pulling 2 cards for every sign of the Western Zodiac. The first card will be from the Babylonian Tarot, and that'll give us an idea of what we're going to be dealing with for the coming week. And the second card will be from Madame Endora's Fortune cards, and that will give us some advice on how to deal with the energy of the week. At the very end of the video, I'll also be pulling a universal manifestation card for everybody. So if you skip ahead to the cards that are pulled for your sign only, make sure you also jump to the very end so that you can get a little bit of that goodness in your life for this coming week. So since it is Scorpio season, let's go ahead and get started with our lovely Scorpios. Scorpio, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020 is Judgment. So there is a sense of deliverance this week, feeling like you are finally coming to not just a conclusion, but a fresh start again, like picking yourself up and brushing yourself off. This is a rebirth card. So there is a need for things to come to an end before the rebirth can happen. So especially if you've been dealing with a lot of endings right now, Scorpio, this card suggests that there is a fresh start and a feeling of being reborn, reincarnated into the world over this next coming week. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the Winds of Change. So you're really being confirmed or affirmed, reaffirmed that you're moving forward. Things are changing, things are shifting. This Winds of Change card, the advice that comes with it is to not fuss so much. You are not going to have a lot of control over the way that things develop right now. This is very much a being picked up and carried along to the next place sort of energy. So you may not have a lot of direct control or even the ability to steer where these winds of change are taking you, and that can be a little bit uncomfortable. So the advice is really to just try and sit back and relax and let it happen. Sagittarius, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020 is the Hierophant reversed. So over this next week, what you have been used to, the motions that have worked, habits that have supported you, things aren't really working out the way that they have over this next week. There's probably a need to do things a little bit differently, especially if you have been following directions or plans or advice from other people that has helped you to get to where you are now. But at this point, it's up to you to figure out what is best for you. And if these things, whatever techniques, whatever habits you've been trying to implement are leading you to feeling like you're getting stagnant or just spinning your wheels and not actually going anywhere, this is a good time to reassess. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is Love reversed, another reversal. So there's a kind of disillusionment that comes with this reversed love card. It's asking you to do the hard thing, to look at things, take off your rose-colored glasses and look at things from a more logical or rational, more reason-based viewpoint. Try to remove your feelings from the matter as much as you can. Is, easier said than done, that one is. But not to disconnect, but to not be so hyper-connected that you can't make these decisions for yourself. You're being asked to prioritize yourself, not necessarily everybody else that is in your life. Capricorn, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020, is the Cherub of Cups reversed. So over this next week, it's going to be a very emotionally imbalanced week for you, Capricorn, feeling like you have no control over your feelings and your feelings might not make any sense. So there's a lot of emotional confusion and almost disconnecting yourself from your feelings because you don't understand what to do with them or how to deal with them, how to feel them properly or healthfully. So you're kind of just not wanting to deal with them at all. That's okay if you eventually get to the point of dealing with them, but the longer that you keep them on the shelf, the more that they're going to build up and the longer it's going to take when you do actually start to work through those feelings to do the healing that is necessary. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the Earth card. Capricorn, you're in your element. So with this emotional disconnect, it's not necessarily encouraged, but it's not being discouraged. You're really being asked to look at things from a place of reason, from a place of logic. Look at the things that do make sense. If your feelings don't make sense, then look at what does. And then maybe the feelings will come along with it. But right now, your feelings and all of this emotional imbalance is kind of a secondary priority. If you can ground yourself and figure out what is going on in the material world, in the world that makes sense to you, then your feelings will probably start to make sense too. Aquarius, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020, is the Two of Cups. And so this is an excellent week for emotional connection and emotional balance. You're very supported, you have good people in your life, and this can sometimes be a sign of romance, of deepening your emotional connection to the other people in your life, of emotional partnership. And for a lot of people, that does mean romance. We're not all willing to expose our hearts to people, that we don't want to have that kind of connection with. So that is the kind of emotional balance that is filling your life this week, Aquarius. And the oracle card that comes along is the Dragon. So you're being asked to make sure that you are acting from a place of wisdom, not just from a place of impulse or desire. Don't necessarily act on your feelings first. Think about them for just a moment and make sure that you're doing what is best for you and best for the other people involved, not just making some rush decision based off of an emotional tug. The Dragon is a very slow and guarded card. So you're being asked to not block anybody out, but to make sure that your boundaries are firm so that there's no risk of being overextended in this emotional sharing. Pisces, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020, is the Magician reversed. So there is some frustration this week as it feels like you have little to no control over your life. You are out of control, out of power, out of control not in the sense that you're all over the place, out of control, just that it's really hard to decide the way that things are going for you right now. It feels like you're very much at universe's mercy, at the whims of other people. So you're relying on the other people in your life, and they might not be able to pull through in the way that you need or the way that you expect right now. So there is some frustration at not being able to do and manifest everything that you want to, Pisces. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the Seer. So you are really being asked to listen to your intuition. Pisces, you're good at that. You have a strong sense of intuition. It's part of the sign. So connect to that part of yourself. Slow down and listen. If things aren't working and they're just not working, trying to make them work isn't going to help. So slow down, and instead of doing, just be. Just be and listen and let things happen for right now and absorb everything that's going on so that you can figure out what to do as soon as the option is there. Aries, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020 is the Six of Cups. So this is a fun week for you. There is a lot of emotional movement and emotional fulfillment. feeling like having not necessarily your needs met, but your wants. So this could be a very, superficial band-aid sort of thing, just a temporary fix to make you feel good in the meantime, but it works. There is a sense of feeling good, at least on the surface level, doing what makes you feel good. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is Fire Reversed. So you're Aries, you are a fire sign, you are on this card. So the reversal asks you to make sure that you are thinking of other people, not just about yourself right now. Especially if this sense of fulfillment, of satisfaction is coming from or through or with other people. Make sure you are taking them and their needs and their desires into consideration at the same time. This also warns against acting too rashly, too impulsively, acting just on your passions. Make sure that you look both ways before you cross the street. Taurus, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020 is the Ace of Discs. So there is good material foundations this week. Not necessarily a lot of instant material growth, but you are setting things in movement. You are planting seeds, and that is allowing for the growth to happen. So if there is a decision that needs to be made, this is an excellent week to make it. If there is an investment that you want to be starting to put money or time or energy into, this is a good time to be considering that, not necessarily jumping in. Make sure that this is something that you want to do, that is grounded in reality and has practical ability to grow. But this is a great week to be working on those things and starting to see the development of your effort. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the Maiden. So there is a sense of refreshed feelings over this next week. You're being asked to come back into the world. Make sure that you aren't isolating yourself. Make sure that you aren't hiding up in your tower like the maiden just looking out your window. You want to be experiencing life. So go out your front door and stand outside instead of just looking out the window. But experience life and connect with other people. The Maiden is a very social card. So pay attention to the emotional connections that are being made over this next week, especially as you are investing in the material or real world. There is an emotional investment that has potential here as well. So if you want to see that grow, pay attention to it too. Gemini, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020 is the Ten of Wands reversed. So this is a positive reversal. It is releasing you and freeing you from any restrictions or burdens, responsibilities that aren't or never were yours. They're all just being released. You're shrugging them off your shoulders. You're saying enough is enough. I'm not doing this if it's not mine to do. I'm not worried about it. So there is a sense of letting things go, no longer holding on to energies that have been keeping you down, looking in a forward direction. Your spirit is lighter this week, Gemini. You're less just overburdened, less weighed down by everything that's been sitting on your shoulders. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the Satyr. So you are being encouraged to enjoy this freedom, enjoy the looseness and the relaxation and the relief that comes with this week, with this release of oppression, of restriction. The Satyr is about celebration. It's about having fun. Indulge yourself. Do what makes you feel good. Not necessarily for the long term. The Satyr isn't about long-term benefit. It's about what makes you feel good right now. And especially if you have been dealing with the heavy energy of the Ten of Wands before it gets to this point of reversal, if you've been feeling dragged down, overburdened, just weighed down by your own soul, and this week you start to feel a little bit lighter, don't question it, just enjoy it. Cancer, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020, is the Two of Cups reversed. So emotionally, there is a feeling of struggle or imbalance over this next week. You're probably not feeling as supported as you maybe should be, or feeling a little bit alone. You don't have people who understand you right now. They're not hearing what you say properly. They're just not getting it. They're not connecting with you. Maybe you're not connecting with them. There's just a feeling of emotional upheaval. Like things just aren't working, especially with partnerships and like our really, really close people, the people that matter most to us. There's questions as to whether or not you mean the same to them that they do to you. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the Unicorn. So this has a double meaning. It means that you need to believe in yourself this week. You may need to be your own best friend right now. But the Unicorn does bring friendship, and it brings positivity. So the thing about the Unicorn is that we don't believe in them. So you need to believe in it for it to be in your life. If some friendships or partnerships are feeling imbalanced or one-sided, look at the other people in your life and turn to them for support. This is a reminder that you are not alone. And if you feel like you have to do it alone, then that's on you. That's fine. But be your own best friend because you need that friendship right now. Leo, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020, is the Six of Cups. So this is a fun week for you. It is a week of fun, of pleasures, of having your wants fulfilled, not necessarily your needs, maybe surface needs, but not necessarily the real deep, emotional, material fulfillment that you long for and strive for. This is a temporary, momentary, positive burst of energy and emotional movement. So there is probably going to be time spent or enjoyed with friends or loved ones, and indulging yourself a little bit in the things that make you feel good, that make you feel nice in the immediate. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the Griffin reversed. So you are being reminded that what you are doing right now this is on the surface. This is a band-aid. This is not a permanent solution or a way to make everything good or make everything right now. This is just a nice time. This is not something that will, if you're having a fling, it's not going to turn into a marriage, that sort of thing. It's just for right now. It can help. It can be fun, but make sure that you are prepared to go back to the work part of everything at the end of all this. Virgo, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020, is the Three of Arrows. So overall, this is probably, unfortunately, a fairly stressful week for you, Virgo. It feels like you're not being appreciated the way that you want to. You're not having your needs met, and it could be as far as feeling betrayed, feeling taken advantage of, feeling hurt. Pain is a theme for this coming week for you, Virgo. Not feeling like things are working out. This could just be stress, or it could be heartbreak, or it could be like trauma. You're dealing with at best a stressful week, and things not going the way that you want them to right now. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the Key. So there's opportunity. It may not be what you expected. It may not have been what you wanted, but there is a way out of all of this suffering. You might have to be the one to turn the key and open the door and walk through. So keep an eye open for these opportunities. And like I said, it might not be what you expected or what you'd wanted in the first place, but it gets you out of this stuck and stressful situation, even if it is just a temporary out in your own mind, so that you have time to rebalance your thoughts and feelings, so that when you come back to the world, you're less stung. Libra, your tarot card for the week of November 1st to 7th, 2020, is the Queen of Discs. You have done a lot of work to get up to this point, Libra. You have done a lot of work building up to this week. And over this next week, your work is being rewarded. Everything that you have tried to build, everything that you've worked towards and set in motion is starting to pay off. And this week brings a real sense of appreciation, not just the access to all of this good stuff, but the appreciation of what is coming, what you have, and of your own self. Genuinely recognizing the effort that you've put in and giving yourself the credit that you deserve. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the Minstrel reversed. So as far as communication goes, you're being asked to not brag too much, probably. The Minstrel reversed closes communication a little bit. It asks you to not express everything on such a raw level, because not everybody else will understand or appreciate it the way you do. Maybe don't go into all of the fine details of the work that you've been doing, even though it makes your soul sing. It might sound like nothing like music to somebody else. So keep it simple, and maybe don't brag too much. Don't gloat about your accomplishments. Be proud, absolutely, but also recognize that if somebody doesn't really want to hear it, they're not going to appreciate it. At the end of my readings, I like to pull a card from my favorite manifestation deck, the Super Attractor. So I have got one card here for everyone who tunes into this video, just to give us an idea of what we should be carrying within ourselves over this next coming week. And the card that I have drawn says, as soon as I choose to see the light in the dark corners, I redirect my power toward what I want. As soon as I choose to see the light in the dark corners, I redirect my power toward what I want. So let me know in the comments down below what this one says to you. To me, the key word is choose. As soon as I choose to see the light in the dark corners and admit that there is light in that darkness, looking for those little glimmers, I redirect my power, meaning that my power was always there, but maybe it was focused in the wrong way toward what I want. I'm focused towards that light, that manifestation, rather than on the darkness, on what I don't have, or on what's not working for me. But let me know what this one says to you down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I hope that the readings in this video have been resonant and that they can provide just a sort of helpful, relevant compass to offer guidance, clarity, whatever you need to get you through this coming week. Please like the video if it sang to your soul, if it resonated with you, and let me know in the comments down below what you thought. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I post weekly videos like this and monthly forecasts as well. And I'll make sure to leave a link to my Facebook page, Hedgewitch Hearthcraft, down in the description below. I pull a daily card over there just to give us an idea of what to be working towards for our own highest good every day. And I post, I have a live card pulls there every now and then. And that's also the best way to get in touch with me if you ever want to book a reading of your own. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful week, and blessed be.